Dutch always says we gotta be smart about things, but then he throws us headfirst into the dumbest damn plans. This train job? Yeah, it's got promise. But it's got trouble, too. Arthur's handling the oil wagon, Sean's running his mouth, and Charles, well, at least he knows when to keep quiet. I just hope Dutch ain't leading us straight into another mess we gotta shoot our way out of again.
Nestled under the open sky, becomes a cocoon of warmth amidst the encroaching darkness, its flickering campfires casting dancing shadows upon the rugged terrain. A web of outlaw plots and secrets quietly hums around the fire. Arthur Morgan, a stalwart and complex member of the gang, stands apart on the outskirts, his keen gaze fixed on the distant horizon as dusk weaves intricate shadows through the campsite. Within him simmers a footloose spirit and an unexpectedly tender vulnerability, often hidden beneath his rough exterior. Arthur returns to the camp, his horse kicking up faint clouds of dust from the day's ride, the scent of earth lingering around him. As he dismounts, an urgent summons pulls him towards John Marston. John, with his coiled energy and piercing focus, carefully inspects an old, creased map under the sprawling branches of an ancient tree. The map whispers possibilities of adventure yet to unfold.
Arthur, get over here! I've caught wind of a train packed with treasure rolling through these parts. It's the chance we've been itching for, a golden opportunity in our very midst.
Train heist? You know the stakes we're dealing with, right? It's not child's play in these parts, John.
I do, Arthur. I've got a plan cooked up. We'll use an oil wagon to force a stop slick, right? Like the old days, before the law was always breathing down our necks.
Arthur listens, his skeptical eyebrow raised, his mind a cauldron of thoughts, weighing the calculated risks of such a high-profile heist. Despite himself, the gleam of determination in John's eyes and the promise of the substantial payout stir something deep within Arthur, igniting that old familiar flame for adventure.
All right, John, I'll find us that wagon, but I'll do it my way, quiet and careful as a fox on the hunt.
With that plan laid out between them, John heads off to gather the necessary supplies, leaving Arthur to mount up once more. He rides toward the bustling Cornwall kerosene and tar, his face etched with determination and resolve. His thoughts linger on the whisper of a life unbound, unfurling like a canvas before him. Night falls as Arthur approaches the expansive Cornwall facility. The shadows stretch long, cloaking the earth like a patchwork blanket. Silence envelops his movements, a protective shroud, masking his approach towards the neatly lined oil wagons, lurking like caged beasts ready to be unleashed. Arthur moves like a whisper, opting for stealth. He maneuvers like a spectre, seamlessly slipping past patrols with cat-like grace and cunning. With patience and precision, he steers the wagon through the winding, narrow trails, choosing a safer, longer route to avoid detection. Each creaking wheel marks the tension of the gamble. The journey is arduous, yet exhilarating. The thrill of the heist fuels him, a primal energy coursing through his veins. He reaches the meeting point at Old Trail Rise as moonlight spills generously across the landscape, content in knowing the task was completed without a hitch. Back at camp, the fires crackle with welcoming warmth. Arthur approaches the glow, finds John waiting expectantly, his silhouette against the flames, an emblem of faith and rebellion.
Wagons at Old Trail Rise. A fine piece ready for what comes next.
Knew I could count on you for this, Arthur. Let's get Charles and his muscle and wit. A potent combination will come in handy.
Just then, Sean emerges from the encroaching darkness, youthful exuberance lighting his path, a gleeful grin plastered on his face, mischief dancing like embers in his eyes.
So what about me? You didn't think I'd keep out of this fun, did you? I'm itching to join in. Can't let you have all the glory.
You sure you've got the stomach for it, Sean? It could all go sideways fast.
I've got nerve to spare, Arthur. I'll keep the lot of you in high spirits. Just you watch.
Despite Arthur's initial reluctance, Sean's enthusiasm is infectious, his unyielding persistence winning the day, securing his place on the team. The camaraderie among them tightens like a lasso drawn snug. The air pulses with anticipation as the gang gathers in the pitch of night near the tracks. The loaded wagon looms darkly, waiting like an untapped promise. The distant rumble of a train grows closer with each passing moment, echoing through the stillness. Arthur's heart pounds in rhythm with the train wheels, the giant machine's glow illuminating the surrounding landscape with eerie light, like a lantern in a sea of shadows.
Steady now, lads.
As the train whistle shrieks through the stillness, Charles springs into action, neutralizing the train engineer with swift, silent precision, while Arthur leaps aboard amid the chaos, every muscle and nerve sharpened to a keen edge. Inside, pandemonium reigns. Panicked passengers watch as Arthur takes command, his voice a steady force against the uncertainty swirling around them. In the compartment ahead, Sean barrels through the baggage car, a comical blend of charm and clumsiness, eliciting laughter amidst the tension. With the train's valuables firmly in their grasp, the gang quickly makes their escape, melting into the enveloping night, the wild freedom of their heist whispering sweetly along their trail. Yet fate, a capricious mistress, shifts with merciless swiftness. Lawmen erupt from the shadows like wraiths, their gunfire slicing through the night air. Instinct grips Arthur and the crew as they fight their way to freedom, the night shattered by the roar of volleys. When the dust finally settles, they disappear into the wilderness, the thrill of a successful heist dancing perilously close to the edge of true danger. Amidst the cover of the dense woods, the gang divides their spoils, each piece of gold or precious jewel catching the firelight with a delicate gleam. Arthur stands slightly apart, his gaze following the faint glow of the receding train far behind. He is pulled into quiet contemplation of the inescapable web of destiny that beckons. In those flickering remnants of what was and what might be, he sees the tangled weave of choice and consequence, the relentless pull of freedom guiding him ever forward. The outlaws ride on, bound by the untamed call of the wild, ever in pursuit of a life unchained from the cruel grasp of fate.